I wrote an article the other day because I got really irritated. This was from the Oklahoman. Election losses by high-ranking Republicans are reshaping Oklahoma's legislature. Well, then when you go down and you read the very first paragraph, for the second time in as many months, a high-powered Republican member of the Oklahoma legislature crashed and burned on election night, an indication that infighting among the GOP is increasing and the party's far right wing is now a major voice in state election. So I'm curious, Michael, are you far right?
No, not at all.
Do you know what far right even is?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on whose definition we're actually looking at.
Well, and that's a curiosity for me. So what is far right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess someone that actually is ultra conservative, maybe. I don't know.
Well, and I can't even figure out what ultra conservative is. So I wrote this article. Basically, Governor Stitt calls us political animals. The Oklahoma calls us far right wing, who really are Jim Shaw supporters. I just wanted to make a point. You'll kind of have to read the article, but let me just get through a little bit of this. So
I like Julia here. They mean people with a moral compass.
Basically, what I did was compare and contrast Jim Shaw and Kevin Wallace, and including what Kevin Wallace did, like doxing Jim Shaw, showing a picture of his home from Google Earth with his actual address on it. He took $68,000 in disaster and commodity subsidies. He spent $440,000 in the pre-runoff. There was an article that came out that basically talked about the fact that he had a construction company, and guess what? It mainly got government job, or it only got government jobs. Look who's supporting. These are all the people that came out to drum up votes for Wallace. So you have Wallace, you have the Speaker of the House, you have the governor, you have a man who's in charge of a very large PAC who donated as much as he could to Wallace's campaign, and you have my senator, Grant Green, and you have the Speaker designate, Kyle Hilbert. All of these people came out to support Wallace. So who came out to support Jim? Just your regular people.
Yeah.
And this was the sweetest. I kind of have a friend that we got to know each other during Jim Shaw's when he was running. His name is Dorn Weaver, and he actually made this particular video of all of the pictures that they took during the time that they were on the campaign trail, and them putting together signs. And this is who voted for Jim Shaw.
Yeah.
This. So my question then was, we're God-fearing, loyal, patriotic, self-sufficient, and loving people. Really, what is so bad about any of those characteristics? So you're going to tell me it's bad to be God-fearing, it's bad to be patriotic, it's bad to be self-sufficient. If you can tell me it's bad to be all of these things, where are we then?
Well, the further question, Jenny, is who's it bad for? It's bad for government. It's bad for the big business cronyism, the crony capitalist. That's who it's bad for. So that's why that far right is so demonized in one. I mean, literally, if you're not part of the uniparty and you're conservative, then you're literally far right, and they try to define us as authoritarians and this and that, but it's the exact opposite. I don't want to rule over anybody, but I don't want anybody to make my decisions in any capacity for me. I'm responsible for myself and my family. No one else is responsible for us except for me.
But therein, I think you have the problem. What we're seeing today is a dependency on government for everything. Tax subsidies if you're a business, because the Chamber of Commerce wants you to be able to provide jobs, because that's everything is. So you have a dependency on the government with tax subsidies. You have farm subsidies that people take. You have school subsidies now so that you can get your kid in a private school. I mean, you have all of these subsidies. And don't even get me started on healthcare and all of that other kind of stuff. It's mainly government is now providing for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you come along and you say, hey, I'm a self-sufficient, I work out in the rural area, I'm a farmer, I can do my own thing, I don't need you taking my tax dollars to do something different for you, they have a fit. Why? Because I want to live off the government. They want to live off the government.
Yeah.
And if we come in and say, hey, we would rather just be self-sufficient, why don't you leave us alone? We're far right. So people who just want to be self-sufficient and left alone to do their own thing are far right. And it's exactly what you said, Michael. It's because we are a crowbar in the cogs of their machines to be able to steal money from taxpayers so that they can use that money to redistribute wealth, however it is, mainly to big business, because that's what we're seeing in all these elections. We're seeing so many PACs, so many special interests donate to these people. Why? Well, it's because they want these people to be able to be good to them with legislation. So somebody told me that they were Jessica Garvin was their senator, and they were standing in front of her talking about a bill. Jessica Garvin literally saying in front of them, well, we can't do that because the hospital association doesn't want it.
God. Oh my God.
So, okay, the hospital association doesn't want it. Now you're representing the hospital association. I'm the one you're supposed to be representing. How's that working?